streaming. That's cool. Give me just a second whilst I check this. Oh my god, that is so much better, isn't it? That is just ridiculous. I'll mute that. Turn that up a bit. Mind you, you can hear it through the mic. I wonder, there must be a way of... Well... Whatever. You guys can hear me. I can't hear you. That's fine. There's nobody to hear anyway, is there? You guys don't have any music, do you? Here, have some music. Woohoo, I can do this. Anyway, so I have pretty much got home in the last half hour from my first full day of university, and I'm tired. Really tired. I have spent way too many spoons today. Last night was like super difficult to get to sleep. No idea why. Well, I kind of guess I know why. Like, I realise it's Tuesday today, and that means that I'm not necessarily, oh, I know what I want to do. Sorry. Use your words. Here. So, Mondays I have nothing at uni, which is great, because it means that I have nothing at uni. The difficulty comes when it means that obviously, like, Saturday is my first... Monday is my first day back. Tuesday is my first day back. This isn't going to work out, is it? Yeah, I thought I'd try something new. I realised that a lot of people use Twitch to stream in real life for, like, helpful stuff. And I know that a lot of people just use Facebook Live instead of using Twitch for something like this. But I thought, let's be radical. I'm comfortable with this platform. You know, I do sometimes, occasionally, still play games. And it just felt like the right thing to do. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to be here every day. Probably be a very different time because of my scheduling. But we'll see. I wanted to talk to people about... Oh, for fuck's sake. Stupid bad witches. Just about life in general, I guess. You know, university is difficult for everyone, regardless. So, it makes sense just to have a chat about things. Why are you looking at me like that, cat? You're gonna be sick. Come here and say hi. Come here. Come here. Piggy. Pig. It's a poopy head. I'll deal with him later. First. Fallout. I'm kind of distracted now as well. You know, I'm not going to let it worry me too much. I'm just going to get on with things as I would normally. With some fallout shelter. Don't mind me. Obviously you're here, so you're not minding me really, are you? Okay. That is a notification. No idea what it was for. Where's my phone even? Oh, it's Snapchat from my friend. We won't look at that right now, because God knows what it will be. She's been... sending me cute little Snapchats all day. Well, since I got home. Now I'm going to put you... There's no space left anywhere. Go in here. There you go. Oh. What was I trying to say? I was trying to tell you guys. Trying to tell you guys about my day. So, last night didn't go so well as far as trying to sleep goes. I'll just hang on with this. A, it was really difficult to get to sleep, and B, this boy here that you can't see was just giving me shit all night. Just, Mom, I want to meow. I'm gonna meow. I'm gonna meow. I'm gonna run around on you. I'm gonna stand on you. I'm gonna... He's just so cute. You don't want that, baby. It's human fuel, not cat fuel. Else it would be called fuel. I don't think we're onto something. I don't think Figaro certainly won't be very happy if I just started feeding him some kind of drink made from paste. Anyway, but I set my alarm for 7:30. Now, not really sure if anybody really understands what that means. Really, 7:30 is like an ungodly hour, at least for me at the moment. It's been a long time since I've been awake at 7:30 in the morning for the purpose of actually, like, with that being my actual intention to actually be awake at 7:30 in the morning. It's been a long time. Anyway, but I did that, and then I actually felt kind of good. You know, it made a change from not being awake at 7:30. It made a change in that, like, I felt, I mean, what is going on here? I felt quite good. But when I got out of bed, I managed to get out of bed. Like, yesterday I tried to get up at 8, and it was just too difficult. I actually went back to bed after feeding the boy. But today I actually managed to get out of bed, make myself a coffee. I've got another, I've got myself a flask so that I can take myself a drink. And that was really good, because actually it stayed so warm. When I poured my drink into my, cup, it was still steaming. So that was nice to be able to do that. Because we're on a money saving kick as well. I have a new budget set out. It's not the best budget in the world, but it's a budget, and it means I can stay within, I'm only spending what I have. What do you want, mate? You just want some little fuss? Have you missed me? Have I been gone all day? Oh, kitten. No, buddy. Oh, no. I know, I'm sorry. You're so cute. I know, I love you too. Okay, well, this is now my stream. This is just it. It's me patting the cat. It's not. I need to play Fallout as well. Now they're going up the... I had some fruit loaf, which is not like saurine. It was bread with bits of fruit in it. So I ate that for breakfast. I didn't have a banana. I was going to have a banana, but I forgot to have a banana as well. Now what else did I take with me to school? That was it. I sorted everything out last night. Like my clothes and my books and what seminar sheets I needed. And I made a big change this year in that I used to print out my seminar sheets every time I had a seminar, and so I've just got a weird message from someone at work at uni. Yeah, I used to print them out, and then I'd make notes, and then make notes on my notes, and then have more notes, and it just kind of got really messy. So I've started taking my laptop to school every day. School. I need to stop calling it school, because, you know, it's obviously not school. It's not. No, it's not the only thing to do. Oh, this person didn't mean to. Somebody just thumbs down. What are you trying to do? This is really difficult, Figaro. It is. You just listening to me talk. So today, started off with constitutional and admin, which was, it was a thing. It was my first seminar of the week, obviously. I mean, this week's just about getting to know people, and that's fine. I'm really glad. So I've made friends, well, I had friends, anyway, I was already friends with Millie from last year. And I've made another friend who has joined us, she's there now. And it's just nice to actually, like, being a mature student, it is harder to make friends. You know, you've got such different priorities, different awareness of things, and I guess there's more pressure to do well. You're there for a reason, like, you know what you're there for, you know what you want out of it, kind of. And generally, I guess it's just like, I'm not interested in, no, that's not true. A lot of first years aren't interested in going out. There's a whole group of us. Did you know gingers have no souls? Better dead than a redhead. Don't you agree, Dwellers? I guess we'll have to agree to disagree? Is that really what you think, boyo? Let's go. What else is going on? I need to talk about interesting things. Oh, Constitution. Oh, it's a hard life right now. They've done something different this year. So, I feel like I should explain. Last year, I have started uni before last year. And then stuff happened, so I'm starting again. Anyway. We've been split up into groups, study groups. So, it's like, it's another thing to have to try and find the time to do, is meet up with the other people in my study group, so that we can talk about the seminar work and the reading and stuff, and the seminars are set out so that you have questions to answer based on whatever topic it is that you've been doing, which is fine. It's great. It's nice to know what is expected of you, and they're not just going to be like, oh yeah, answer this random question, so there's no pop quiz stuff. It'll be interesting to see how it goes with the people that I'm in the seminar with. We'll just see, you know. My first thought was, oh my god, people. And then straight away, I kind of realised that actually this might be a good chance to get better at peopling. And I guess that comes from being in a better place than I was, say, last year. But it's still, yeah, just, after that, I had a brief break, an hour's break, I think. Is that true? I don't even know if that's true. I could be lying to you. Shall we find out? Maybe if you add, oh wait, maybe he can't see. Copy link address. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Copy link would be fine. not the address of the link. Copy link address. Paste. Right, just highlight it and then, oh, for the love of everything. You just hate it when you go to highlight something and then anyway, should be doing work now. This is what happens. I get really distracted. Bradley's put them in. I did Stella's. Jenny and Chloe haven't done anything. Okay, that's fine. Probably shouldn't be using words like that. People's names and stuff. What else happened today? Oh, I was looking at my timetable. Yeah, I had an hour's break. I don't know what I did during that hour's break. What did I do during that hour? Oh no, I talked to the lecturer about my circumstances, and then I tried to do some reading. I think an attempt was made to read. I'm pretty sure. An attempt was made. I promise I did try. And then we had a contract lecture. And like, a lot of it is just going through what we already know, you know, well, what I already know. And what we've already been told about, like, what the course is going to entail, what we're going to be covering, why there is a contract law at all anyway. So it was pretty standard. I'm looking forward to the next one. There's quite a lot of reading to do as far as reading goes for next week. But I've already done quite a lot of it. Some article about the expectations of reasonable men. I know that I've also got a book about the feminist kind of side of that. Like, obviously a reasonable man acts differently to how a reasonable woman would, right? Like, if we're so different, and obviously feminism is a big issue currently, and just generally. I think it's still not balanced, you know, I mean, you get really political when you start thinking about these kind of things. That's kind of a part of life, and you realise when you are older that everything has to do with politics. You know, when people say to me things like, oh, I'm not interested in politics, I kind of, how can you not be interested in politics? You know? It's everywhere. It governs everything. Law governs everything. There's no escaping it. I can understand that people want to try and escape it, but it's there. And we all have an opinion on it. And the more you understand something, the better informed ideas and choices you can make. I would like to think that I boycott meat. Vegetarian. And that's because of my attitude towards things that are going on, you know. I believe that agriculture has a lot to answer for, especially like the way that, because there is such a high demand for things, for food products like meat, then manufacturers, in this case farmers, have had to get quite creative about how they farm. So gradually I'm not going to say that every farmer treats their animals really badly, but, you know, most of them, if you're making a big profit, do. There's no way that they can look after that many animals safely and nicely, but that's my opinion. I'm not going to force it on anybody yet. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that if you don't have an opinion, why don't you have an opinion? Like, what are you missing out on in life? If you don't have an opinion on education, this is our future. Like, it's the future of everybody. Your friends and your friends' friends and your cousins and nephews and nieces and shit. Like, we should care. To completely go off topic. Completely. What else is new today? Let's have a think. See if I can remember without looking. Oh, I have my contract seminar exactly like straight after my lecture, which is going to be really confusing in the future, because what we do is we learn something in the lecture, and then we're supposed to like prepare for the seminar the next week. So if I've got my I just had a text message from my friend saying, "Why the fuck did Luke Cage dab?" Followed by, "Oh, he must have written Luke wrong." I'm like, I don't know, I'm not Luke Cage. Do I look like Luke Cage? Anyway, yeah, so contract's gonna be interesting, but in some ways I think as long as I can kind of forget everything in the lecture for an hour and then go back to the stuff previously, actually that works quite well. It's better than my constitutional admin, because that lecture's on a Friday, last thing, and then my seminar is Tuesday, first thing. So there's going to be like, okay, I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to do this, which probably isn't that bad, thinking about it. Do you have to do that over here? He's licking his butt. The cat. No, not a person. I've cat shamed him now. He's stopped it. I'll get him to come and say hi in a bit. And then I had, let me think. Yeah, I had 2 hours kind of to myself. So I did some stuff then. So Friday morning or 11 till 2 is free. This is for constitutional admin. Sorry. Anyway, she shuts up. Is that the sun? It is. The sun is doing the glares. Breathe. What do you think happens when you die? I think we're dead. Sad, isn't it? I wanted to talk a bit about, okay, so the whole point of wanting to kind of check in was that hopefully I could just talk about my mental health. I'm aware it's not great at the moment. I also think that it never will be though. And now I'm starting to question whether Twitch is the right platform to do this on. Anyway, yeah, no, today has been tough going, just from a kind of exhaustion point of view. Like I said before, I do kind of subscribe to this idea that we all have an amount of spoons to use a day, and it takes a certain amount of spoons for one person, and a different amount for someone else. And rather than say, oh, I won't do that because I don't have the energy to do it, I find it's better to find other ways to manage, like other ways to get around not having any energy left. So, as well as trying to sort out my mental health, I'm also aware that I probably could stand to lose a few pounds. So one of the things that I've started doing, or I hope to do, or I am currently doing, and we'll see how long it lasts, is having lunch at the university. It does mean that I'm spending money, but it does mean that I am actually eating food that is good for me. The university's always got some kind of vegetables available at quite a cheap price, I'd say. I can't remember how much it cost me today. It was inexpensive though. It's like £2.44. I'm not sure how much that equals altogether, but for now it'll do. For now it'll do. On Monday, next Monday, I am getting a new cooker delivered. I had a really long chat with my she's not my stepmom, but she might as well be, Jo, and we talked about like the best way to be able to manage what I'm eating, because at the moment it's just atrocious. You know, I was looking through my budget, and this month, as in September, I've gone way over budget, like more over budget than you can go, or you should go. More over budget than you can go. That's impossible. Well, it's not impossible, but whatever. It's not looking good. One day last week, yeah, it was last Tuesday, because it's Super Tuesday, isn't it? I ended up getting pizza, and it was really expensive, and it was a mistake. I know pizza should never be a mistake, should it? But it really was. And because it was Super Tuesday, April was round, but she decided to only get 2 sides, and I was like, well, I'm getting a pizza and I get a free pizza. I don't see that I should suffer from not having pizza. Like, I shouldn't miss out, should I? So I bought 2 pizzas for myself. Cheese and tomato. Yeah, cheese. Not very vegan. And some mushrooms as well, because I do love mushrooms. I love the mushrooms. And then I ended up eating that for like 2 days. I was quite surprised it lasted me that long, to be honest, because pizza. But we managed it. I did. What else do I need to talk about? I don't need to talk about anything, obviously. I'm choosing to talk about things. Just keep correcting myself all the time. It's like an obsession. of mine to correct people, things, items, cats. Oh, he's just so cute because he does this thing where he scratches, but then his little tongue sticks out when he's scratching his face. I heard you're turning your vault into a Brotherhood outpost, am I? I'm pleased to say I can't think of a better place for it to be. I'll see you there soon. Dismissed, soldier. So have I earned myself a people? Was that it? You're just coming by, looking at me and then going away again? There are never. Some cats. You just can't get the cats. Such a nerdy thing to say. Most of the time, like, I feel like most of this stream is just going to be me not being able to believe that I said something that I said. Look, what the hell, Ollie? What? Let's do that, and I can cover myself up. You can't see what I've done, but I can see what I've done. Anyway. What was I talking about? Budget! It's right in front of me! I don't know, it took me a very long time to sort out my finances personally, and this is something that comes with age. It really does. The older you get, the more time you've had to kind of adjust to the things that life demands of you. So I didn't start properly budgeting until I was about 21. I was going over my overdraft every month. It was bad. In the end, I actually got money back from the bank because there's a website over here in the UK called Money Saving Expert, and the guy that runs it, he kind of did a campaign to stop banks from taking all these fees, because it's pretty outrageous. You know, you go over your overdraft by like £2, and then they're charging you like 30 quid for them to send you a letter saying that you've gone overdrawn, and that, you know, maybe a day or two that interest. I don't know. Anyway, it's all a big rigmarole now. Banks have obviously got to be more aware of, got to be more open about their policies, and I think they are, but there is still I think there are some cases where you can get your money back if they've kind of just taken a piss. Anyway, so I was in trouble because I was just out in debt constantly. So I started doing I didn't do a budget exactly. I started writing down all the money that came out of my account every month. So I'd write down, this is back in the day when I had a steady income. I worked in a special school, I was a teaching assistant, I had other jobs to do as well, but I had a constant wage, like even in the holidays. I wish people could just see you. I need a cat cam, like a dedicated Sky cat cam. Anyway, yeah, my wages didn't even change even during the holidays, because what they used to do was they'd kind of split the payment across all 12 months, which makes sense, because who in their right mind would be expected to have all that money in their bank during the school term and then have nothing for the 6 weeks holiday? It's just mad. So I started writing down everything that was coming out of my account, and I started with like the bills, because they were obviously like, it was so dumb when I think back. I feel like such an idiot for not actually being able to see that doing something so simple was going to help me out so hugely. I wrote down in an Excel spreadsheet. I do the same thing now. My income, the income I knew I was going to get, and then all the bills every month. Like, so I'd write them down, because I was paid on the 23rd, but then sometimes, like, for some reason my phone bill sometimes comes out on the 13th, sometimes it comes out on the 15th, and then there were other things that would come out of my account on other, like, maybe 2 weeks rather than every month. And then what I came up with was I had a total at the end of every month. Like, it would deduct everything that was due to come out, so that I could see how much money I would have at the end of the month from here. And I think that what that kind of did for me was made me realise, well, look at how much money I could have at the end of the year if I don't buy this thing that I don't really need. I just look at it and really want it. And this was back in the day when I used to spend way too much money on CDs, DVDs, video games. That was my three things. And I would buy video games just because I liked the look of the cover. I used to play Final Fantasy all the time. I remember when I finally had the money to buy Final Fantasy X. I used to go in and I used to look at it. This is so ridiculous. I used to go in and look at the DVD, the video game case. PS3. Yeah, 2. Oh my god. I'm so old. Maybe it wasn't Final Fantasy. Maybe it was Final Fantasy 13. I'm so old. Anyway, I'd go in, look at the cover, and be like, oh, I just really want to buy it. And then after I bought it, I would go back into the shop, and then I'd be like looking around at stuff, and I would just look at I would hold it again and just look at it and be like, why is this filling with me with this sense of need? Like, I had to buy it, like, and I don't really understand what it was about it that made me, like, feel compelled to buy it. Like, yeah, it looked good, but I played it. It's like literally on my shelf at home, and I didn't touch it for about 6 months when I first bought it. I didn't touch it. What was the point? I find that with so many games that I buy, it's like the excitement of buying it rather than the actual owning of the thing. So budgeting was really, really helpful. It really helped me to kind of put things into perspective. There's some really cool websites. Really cool. They're cool as in, like, what they've done is cool. I'm not saying that it's, like, amazing, cool, special, awesome. Because it's obviously not. It's, like, super nerdy and too adult for life. But I think they're cool. One of them's called a demotivator. Oh, look! Doggone heroes. Well, a war of cults is brewing. The settlers caught in crossfire. War, famine, pestilence, whoever they are all vying for power. But death's a no-show. I've got a new thing. Okay, cool. Right, we're going. So yeah, I've been budgeting. It's pretty abysmal. The numbers aren't good. So I'll be getting a certain amount of student loan. It's a maintenance loan, and I don't think, not everybody is entitled to it. It does depend on your income, and a lot of students get kind of, the decision is made based on what their parents own. Thankfully for me, That has absolutely jack shit to do with anything. I've been living on my own for God knows too many years now. Obviously, I'm 32. In control of my in control of my own finances. Yeah, that's not true. But anyway, apparently I'm in control of my own finances. So I broke down my. In fact, let me do something magical and show you what my budget is like, because I can do that. So obviously this is next month. I prepared myself for next month, and I've gone through and gone all the way up to next July, not September, because I couldn't think of another name for the September one, and then because of the formulas that I've used, it would mess everything up, so I didn't do that. So that's my carry forward from last month. Thank you, Student Finance England, for letting me have the full amount. They were going to take some money off me because I had to drop out last year, which is fine. But they didn't. Anyway, I've got... anyway, these are what I've budgeted for, and it scares me a tiny bit because I don't think it's going to work. The big ones are obviously £80 for groceries a month. Aha! That's my £2.40 whatever it was for my lunch today is going to come out of that. Coffee is a big spend for me. I do enjoy going to have coffee with a friend, or just to read some books, or journal articles and stuff. So I think that's kind of fair. Like, you can easily spend £5 on coffee and a cake. So that's like 5 times a month. Could work, we'll see. £20 on clothes because I buy all my clothes from charity shops. I don't really see why people should be spending like £30 on some things when, you know, you end up... I don't know, it's just such a lot of money. A lot of people do, I mean, at the moment, it's a good time to go charity shopping. I can see a future where that doesn't happen. I can equally see a future where... I can see many futures. Let's not get political again, please. But anyway, £20 on clothes. That's what I've told myself. Comics. I buy Saga. That is the one comic that I will buy. Now, I know at the moment they're on a 3-month break, so I won't have to worry about that next month. But it's just nice to know, to budget it in, so I know that it's there. Again, with the cinema, I will definitely be going to see Captain Marvel. I will definitely be going to see Avengers. I will definitely be going to see Black Panther and Spider-Man. So that's what I've kind of budgeted for. I've got a friend who gets reduced tickets, so I spread the cost over the year and divided it by 12. This one, my cat, apparently I spend £23, 20 pence on cat food a month. How much? He's spoiled. You're spoiled. Do you even know? He's listening to me. His ears have done that thing where they kind of go back. I ought to pick him up and, you know, make him look at you guys. It's outrageous. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean to him, kind of, but I think he will be getting slightly less food. bearing in mind, I mean, the boy eats like he's never going to be fed again. Like, this is the last time that he'll be fed. Every day. Every morning, every night. If you even, like, move him away from the food bowl and, like, try and distract him and make him forget that there's food in it, he always goes back. I get it. Like, a lot of cats seem to think that if they don't eat it, that somebody else will. But he's literally, like, the only cat here. And he's left food before. When I first got him, he used to leave food all the time. He'd, like, do that really, really cute thing where his food bowl was up against the wall, so he'd, like, paw at the wall to, like, animals in the wild will cover their food up so that nobody else can find it. No kitten else can find it. Can't believe I just said that. Totally not a brony. Anyway, I'm ashamed. Okay, breathe. Yeah, so I started, like, trying to reduce how much he gets. That, and I think the vet will be a bit annoyed with me, because I think he should be 4 pounds? 4 kilograms. 4 kilograms. Pounds would be crazy, wouldn't it? He's supposed to be 4 kilograms. I haven't weighed him in a while. Probably ought to do that too. And then maybe we'll see if I'm feeding him enough or not. Anyway, that's how much money my cat cost me. And then I've got my house. And that's for bits like, last month I bought some paint for, like, some cupboards that I've got in the hallway just to brighten it up a bit. Any items that I buy for my house. I don't tend to buy anything for my house, or I try not to. I bought a pair of scissors. It's really exciting growing up. It's really exciting. Toiletries, £10 as well. That seems ridiculous, but then toiletries, like, when you start thinking about what toiletries that you might use, it all adds up. I mean, I don't use makeup. Yeah, you're ugly as sin, Ollie. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk to myself like that. I'm so beautiful, I don't need makeup. That hurt. So, like, I'm including shampoo and conditioner in that. Face stuff, toothpaste, toothbrushes. I think that's pretty good going, really. This one is not going to be correct. I am not going to drink Cure every day, I don't think. My plan is to drink it 4 times a week. So when I'm at university, I will have a meal at uni. They have vegetables at the yin yang, don't have to worry about cooking. Great. And then when I get home, I will have Cure. Because it's just easy. Kind of. I think so anyway. Excuse me just a second, because I forgot that I was playing it. I guess not excuse me, you know, it's here. I'm going to do this now then. Gasp. Okay. So hopefully it won't cost me £40.50. But I thought, budget it in, and anything that I don't spend can go towards being saved. Ha! And then hobbies. Hobbies. It's pretty vague, really. I know. I used to have more hobbies than I do now. I like to send postcards. I like reading. I like buying cat toys for my cat. I like Marvel stuff. I buy notebooks because notebooks are great. I'll buy video games. The other day, I accidentally bought Papers, Please. It was on sale. No, it wasn't on sale. Mini Metro was on sale. But I didn't want to buy Mini Metro then, so I decided to buy Papers, Please instead, which was more expensive and not on sale. Like, these, like, moments in life where you think that you can manage to be frugal all the time. I haven't decided yet if it's related to having borderline, like whether that is the up-down mood has a really intense effect on kind of what decisions I do make. But that was not the right decision at all. It's like, I don't even call myself vegan anymore because I regularly have things like cheese on a pizza. What? I can't sit here and tell you that I'm vegan when I'm not, obviously. But again, some people that knew that I was vegan before have asked me about being vegan, or they've mentioned, oh, you've got cheese on that. And I kind of have to tell them that, look, like, I had to tell myself that I wasn't vegan anymore so that I wouldn't feel guilty about having, I've been living off microwave meals for a while because otherwise I wouldn't eat. It's as simple as that. I didn't have a cooker. I still don't have a cooker yet. I've ordered one. It's coming on Monday. Woohoo! But even then, I think it would be a struggle to actually use it. But it will certainly be easier than what I'm currently kind of coping with. I've got a little oven. And when I say a little oven, like, if I get a pizza that I'm cooking rather than takeaway pizza, I have to cut it in half to put it in the oven. Otherwise it doesn't fit. It would just be so nice just to be able to buy a pizza and stick it in the oven. And that'd be really nice. It'd be nice to bake again, although obviously baking is not very healthy all the time. Not the stuff I bake anyway, like 50 ounces of sugar, that's a lie. That's a lot of sugar. And maybe I can start kind of just get back into a routine about cooking. And that's a symptom of depression, and certainly I think general low mood that people don't realise, and people think you're being lazy. I can't describe, like, I know the difference between being lazy and just feeling like it's just too much. Because you know that it's not only just about the cooking, it's having the ability to remember what food goes in when. I don't tend to use a recipe for much of my, like, cooking in general. I enjoy cooking when I can be bothered. I use a lot of kind of raw ingredients rather than buying like the pasta mix or something. And then it's just the whole process of knowing that, well, there's only me, so I need to cook for just one person. But if I cook for more than one person, I have to make sure that I'm cooking early enough that I can, things can cool off, and then I can put them in the freezer for the next time. That I've got enough Tupperware to manage to actually have the space to put anything in the freezer, and then having space for stuff in the freezer, And then buying ingredients that you need and going to the shop these days is just, wow, intense. That takes a lot of spoons. It's a lot of spoons just going to the shop. Yeah, there's people. Which is why it's been quite difficult this week with university. Obviously, there are so many different people there. It's difficult to mix with other people. I've always found that hard. And when you're talking to new people every day, because there's new people in all of my seminars, all of my lectures, it just takes a lot out of you. And by the time you get home, you're mentally and physically exhausted. Just exhausted. I don't think there's a way of describing that if you haven't experienced it. And I kind of think that that's the difference between being an introvert and an extrovert. You know, introverts need time alone, and spending time with other people is tiring. Whereas extroverts, that's how they kind of regain energy. People that enjoy being around other people and get a real kick out of being around other people. I wonder if some of it has to do with either depression or borderline. And there's that constant wondering about others. I either connect with somebody like that, kind of, or it takes months. I remember when I first started working in, there was a classroom that I used to be in when I was working in a special school, and it took me 4 months of working there 3 days a week before I felt like I was able to be there, like I was allowed to be there. Like, it sounds ridiculous when you say it, like, before that I didn't really feel like I belonged. And it's not a belonging as in the kind of, you belong to a friends group or something. It's like that I had a right to be there, or that I was being effective. And that's quite a difficult thing to wrap your head around, especially when it is what you're feeling. Like, we're made to think that we've got to be this, that and the other, but we're not, because we're only human. We're only human. There's things to play with, so people are always playing with them. Wow. I think after an hour of talking at you, it's really been an hour, I'm going to say bye. If anybody has any feedback about whether you think a Twitch stream is a good idea, or maybe whether I ought to kind of do just a live thing, I think I will stick with streaming. I know that maybe people won't tune in and watch it exactly, but we'll see how the video goes, I guess. I'm going to export that too. I'm sorry, my cat is just too cute. I'll export that probably to YouTube. He's sniffing the pens and pencils, but then I don't think he really knows what he thinks about the smell of the pencils. I also think he wants to chew them. Little poopy head. Anyway. Yeah, it's time to go. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, when I check in, possibly in the morning, possibly after everything. It didn't change. Bye.